Can you talk a bit about the process of forming a DAO and some of the benefits that a DAO has?
Yeah, sure. So what's special about DAOs and why it works like for Web3 is because compared to our traditional, like we have companies and organizations, right? DAOs bring, I would say, much more trust. Like the way it's structured, because the way blockchain is structured is that it's essentially a database storage, right? That everyone can read. But not only that, they can also write on it. They can build on top of it. So the special about DAOs is that you could have companies like individuals or group of individuals working on building their own stuff, but in the ecosystem. So like we could like imagine this, that we'll have people who would eventually create their own company around Basic Beast and create maybe like TV shows of it, or games of it, like different types of games, and they'll be able to use the NFTs as like a way to verify that this person owns, right, the item, and we'll have this type of interoperability. That's a benefit, right, that you can like really open source your code, like open up to the world, like to contributors who can like work independently. A really beautiful thing. And also because I'm very long for DAOs, that the ones that will succeed will have very much better odds of surviving more than 100 years. If you look at the top 100 companies, not that many actually like companies are going to be there like for 100 years or more, or like even 50 years is quite a lot. So creating a DAO like that way is like something really for the long term, being able to make sure that it continuously exists and people can like build on it, the way that we have seen Ethereum succeed with that. What's the question? Sorry. How do you make a DAO? Or
It's also just like how do you make a DAO?
okay, so how do you make
How do you make DAOs? A pretty
yeah,
big question.
so there are like different ways, right? But the one I prefer, I've had a MA yesterday, like on a Twitter space with Nick from Decentology, and yeah, a bunch of other amazing people. But he said that they scaled something like to, I think, like millions of contributors. He said that the best way to like create something like a DAO community is that you would essentially want to make it easy for people to contribute, whether it's just a meme or inviting people or whatever it is, like just small things. Essentially, some of those people are going to stick and they are going to be evangelists to your project, to your ecosystem, because they get vested, right? Like, and they love it. They might actually love, what you and the others are doing. So the more evangelists you end up having, the more likelihood is that you'll be able to turn this into a DAO. Like, because people really want it to, like, they want to build on top of it. They want to make their own game of it. They want to make their own website for it, whatever it is, or a YouTube channel for it. So I think that that's actually really powerful, in contrast to just like trying to like pay a bunch of companies and hope that they want to stay there forever, right? DAOs will actually have like much higher churn rates, most likely, that people just come and go, and that's also okay. But since there are that many contributors eventually, and the things that get built that ends up being valuable, it seems like that's going to, make sure that the DAOs will continue to exist, as we see with Ethereum. So I would say, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
a
make it
really
easy
good
for people to
example.
contribute.
Yeah, so make it easy for people to contribute. We have heard this before as well. Like you just want a super simple mechanism for people to be able to contribute and be a part of it, which is consistent with what you're saying.